Yeah, as an investor, it's so important that we diversify our investments. That means we spread the risk, that we take our Have you ever thought about diversifying into these assets that we're going to talk about? We're going to share insights into some interesting assets that you can add to your portfolio of assets, to your basket. And to share this with you, once again, I brought with us our catching hero, Manuela.
Hello.
Hi. Yeah, as an investor, it's so important that we diversify our investments. That means we spread the risk, that we take our eggs and spread them across several baskets. The opposite would be, we could call it diversification, that all the eggs are in one basket. If that basket drops, if something happens with that one particular investment, everything cracks at once. So we need to diversify. One interesting area where we can diversify into, where we can put our money. What is that, Manuela?
Commodities like wheat, oil or wheat or coffee, for example, or sugar.
Yeah, and the gas, sugar, as you said, wheat, oil, gas, yes. And these could be very interesting. And what are some ways that we can get into these kind of investments, Manuela?
Yeah, I mean, you can invest into certain companies, or you can invest in ETF. So,
and for those that never heard about an ETF, what is that?
So that's how can I explain it?
So on an exchange, they created.
Yes, and there are many companies that are in this field, for example, and they are put into one basket. Maybe you can explain it better than me.
Yeah, so when it comes to commodities, one way, as Manuela mentioned, we can invest into companies, and some companies, their investment funds, they create a basket where they collect all these companies and create what is known as an index. You can invest in that index, so you get a share in index, and then you get to follow the price of all these companies combined. And there are also indexes created that just follow the price of the commodity. So, for example, follow the price of gold, follow the price of oil or gas or wheat or sugar or coffee. And so it's possible to buy. So it's kind of like buying the commodity without owning the commodity itself. So you just buy a piece of paper representing the price. So if you buy such a paper for the commodity, you don't invest in any particular company. So then you are not depending on that particular company doing well, but you kind of have some automatic diversification. As opposed to investing in a particular company, you're really depending on that particular company doing well. But particular companies will have more price movement, known as volatility. So we can make more profits with individual companies. Do you have any experience here, Manuela?
I invested in a.
Your sound cut. Can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah, try again, please.
I put in silver.
Okay, your sound quality is not great today, Manuela. What I know from what you told me from before is you've been looking at wanting to invest in the oil sector, and I know you found Shell as a company. And you also got to learn something about investing in commodities, that this could really be a long-term investment, because commodities are subject to a lot more political scenarios. And that goes with oil as well. So I know you were investing in a particular company, and it took 2 years, or up to 2 years, close to 2 years, and you got just about 100% return, which is definitely worth celebrating. Let's do a catching for that. Catching. And it's also important to be aware that when, for example, politicians, if they really get into, they want to focus more on renewable energy sources, then like oil and gas might lose its popularity and drop in price. For example, when Russia invades Ukraine, and Ukraine is a large producer of wheat, the price of wheat skyrocketed. And like nobody can really know that, okay, such a scenario is going to happen. So these are some political factors that affect prices of commodities. Or with the pandemic, when it was hard to ship goods around, the price of wood went up because it was really hard to get hold of wood for construction. So commodities might not be the place where you start out if you're a first-time investor. Something that I would look at a little bit later when you have a little bit more experience, and because we could end up having a really long-term focus, and it's subject to other things than just the analysis that we can do on the particular commodity or company that we want to invest in. However, it's when we have a portfolio, it's a great place to really look into in order to diversify, because the price of commodities also go up and down, whether that it's gold, silver, wood, whether it's oil, gas, coffee, wheat, sugar. These are possible commodity investments. Okay, thanks for joining in today. Let us know what your biggest key takeaway was from this. We would love to hear from you. Reach out to us. We know how we can support you and what would be valuable to you. Let's do a final catching, Manuela. Thanks for joining today.
Hi.
Catching.